take me on the ride.
Yeah. Oda, take the wheel.
Yeah, he has that wheel.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Misfit Podcast.
What's up?
And today we'll be bringing you some news. This is now a news show.
It's a news show. Welcome to the Nerdy Misfit News Podcast show, where we're talking about something we rarely talk about on the podcast.
That's right, rarely.
Rarely.
One Piece.
We've
We've actually talked about it less than
last
used to.
month or two. It's been
less than we used to.
yeah, true.
Definitely. You know.
Well, I mean, I was catching up on
Are
the
you
manga.
actively reading it?
Oh,
and
yeah.
watching?
No.
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 I have not watched One Piece.
Well, spoiler, you might have some time.
Ugh, true that. I've not watched One Piece since the time skip.
Fair enough.
I've yet to rewatch the
You basically
condensed
just gone manga and
Fishman.
you're like, this is just better.
Well, like it was like when I got, because originally when I was watching One Piece, I didn't have a Crunchyroll subscription or anything like that, so I was like borrowing DVDs, and I think at that point that's basically where
I do remember that's where it
you
ended.
had for the time being. So I was like, you know what? And then I was like, it's whatever. I'll just wait for the next disc. And then I think you just never got around to getting it right away.
Well, there was a combination. It was Funimation wasn't doing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They weren't dubbing it, and those were the ones releasing One
Yeah.
Piece, and they were like not doing it at all.
We're like, yeah, we're not
Which they did end up like just going ham,
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we only have this voice actor for a month. Let's do the
and they caught up
yeah.
pretty quick.
But and then once we started the podcast and stuff, there's an early on episode where I read from the time skip to the end of Wano in like a 3-month period,
Which is where they were.
and then I caught up, yeah. And then I've been reading it weekly ever since, which has been about a year and a half now.
Yeah,
But
good.
obviously we saw the films like One Piece Red and stuff like that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. But yeah, so we do have some decent chunk of One Piece news that we'll get into, basically broken down to, I guess, 3 parts, if you will. We were coming in prepared to do a different episode, but this came out and we're just like, may as well
slightly
do.
more important.
Well, there's
Well,
more.
you know.
The other episode can be pushed back, basically.
Exactly.
But it'll be a fun one.
I agree.
And as of recording this, our first Marvel Monday would have been out already.
That's true.
First 2.
Yes.
Or 3. I can't remember.
1?
1, 2, or 3. Who knows?
Just 1.
Who knows?
2 days ago would have been the release of this episode. From this release of this episode, our first Marvel Monday would have been out. So make sure you check on that. That is a YouTube exclusive. Where we're going to be talking about the MCU in release order. Every Monday, excluding the first episode, where we discuss Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, we just use
But-
Marvel Zombies because October, Halloween
Spooky
just ended.
time. We're like, you know what? We'll use this as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And then yes, let it. Make sure you check in every Monday. I think at 9 a.m. Is that we're
No, it'll
releasing
be at
it?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. 3
3
p.m.
p.m.
on Mondays.
Yep.
You'll be able to Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to listen to Connor and I chat about the MCU, starting with Marvel Zombies, followed by Iron Man, and then down the chain every Monday.
They progressively get shorter.
They will. They progressively.
Our goal is 10 to 15.
10 to 15 minutes.
The first couple are
like 20,
we were having
25.
we were having a hard time.
We talk. Well, Iron Man is just a great film that you can just talk about
Yeah.
for so much. So that makes sense. But I digress. Yeah. So go check that out. Make sure if you want to get that notification when that comes out at 3 p.m., make sure you subscribe, you ding the bell, make sure the notifications are on so you can see that.
Be notified every Monday.
Notified every
Join
Monday
us.
at 3 p.m. And then you'll be notified for every Wednesday when the podcast comes out.
That's also true. But let's jump into the One Piece news. So I guess let's just cover the biggest one.
Yep.
Let's get the big one out of the way. So last year, man, already last year, but last year, big hiatus.
Yep.
First one of its kind, really, for toy animation for One Piece.
Huge.
And it, I would say, went well. That's when they started releasing the condensed and more, I guess, well-paced version of Fishman Island.
Yep.
Which was
Really
solid
well done.
and had no complaints. And then when the hiatus was done, I watched it and I felt like, yeah, there was a significant pacing improvement. The issue is that pacing improvement was very short-lived. We were already jumping right back into like the extra flashbacks to like things that happened literally the last episode or even in the same episode. We had a lot, the classic long intro, opening songs.
Yeah.
Anything that you can that makes One Piece at this point One Piece for the anime was they came back, and the animation was, I want to say, is at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
I also big props to Toei for during Wano. There was a lot of complaints about One Piece kind of becoming like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, a lot of particle effect style.
And some people liked it, and a lot of people were like, "No, it's just too much. It's
Yeah.
One Piece.
Calm it down a little bit."
And they listened, and I think that was awesome, and it looks better because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like we're getting another hiatus. This will be happening in January 2026 to April 2026. And in combination with this is even bigger news other than the hiatus, which is for the first time in 25 years, Toei is going to a more seasonal format.
Which is crazy to think about, that One Piece has basically been weekly for the last
other
25
than that one
years.
hiatus.
Is just crazy.
And
But-
it's 13 episodes broken in, it's 26 episodes broken into 13 episode parts,
Yeah.
is I think what a lot of people are assuming is going to be the happening. But yeah, only 26 episodes per year of One Piece, which feels sad almost in a way.
It's
even,
weird.
even though you complain, deep down
Yeah.
you're like, I
Yeah.
don't enjoy watching 6-7 minutes of actual content.
Yeah, it's a win-lose situation, because like you got that One Piece itch.
And you're like, One Piece.
You're like, oh, the One Piece episode,
like
gotta go
always
watch
there.
it. Yeah, and you're like, even though it was only like 4 or 5 minutes of story, you're like, that's One Piece. And then you're like, I'll see you next week, kind of thing, right? And then but now it's weird to be like, oh wow, like we're
gonna see it in a
gonna
seasonal.
see it in a
preview.
seasonal form, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
It, like when we do
Our
a
seasonal
fall
preview
season,
for
we might be saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, what a One Piece season."
here's
I don't
One
know
Piece
what they're gonna
Albath
say.
Arc 2.
That's what I mean. I wonder
Yeah.
if they'll just do arcs and then just label them parts as long as it takes them to
Part
go
1,
through.
Part 2 kind of thing. Yeah, because Albath,
Albath is
yeah,
gonna be long.
yeah, it is gonna be long. I'm just trying to think of where
But
they
they could
would cut
also
off.
jump into maybe like the flashback
Flashback.
and name it the the specific
Yeah.
arc. But anyways, that is definitely some crazy news. Just to also confirm from Toei Animation, they had a tweet to quote themselves. One Piece going on a 3-month break, and then they'll start with the Elbath arc. Hype. And they're kicking off production schedule, dividing into 2 parts of a maximum of 26 episodes per year, in order to dive deeper into the heart of the One Piece world, incorporating more content, tempo, and pacing of the original manga. I did also read that they're going to the staff, or like the higher ups, directors / showrunners, are going to be meeting with Oda to also make sure things make more sense, because obviously they're pretty caught up.
Yeah.
In a lot, and still, and when you think of a classic season, you're thinking what, 4-5 volumes is maybe 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And I don't even think there is that much content. So I do think maybe that just the way this is also worded, incorporating more content, tempo, and pacing, makes me feel like the pacing is going to be better.
Yeah.
Maybe way less flash. I think it's one of the most annoying things, filling in the episodes with flashbacks to
Previous
the same episode or an episode that's already happened just
Yeah.
really recently. That stuff's really obnoxious. I wonder if they'll start putting in maybe some extra content that even Oda felt like he couldn't fit in the manga when he was writing that part of
Yeah.
the story. And maybe we get some extended lore.
That
Which
could be
is a
really
good
cool.
opportunity to do, and it also slows you down from catching up as fast,
Yeah.
but also doesn't ruin the pacing as much. It
That-
still could affect the overall story pacing, but let's face it, Oda's pacing in general is a bit of a roller coaster. Sometimes it's like super smooth and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
we're flowing through. And then sometimes that man takes a right turn and you're just like, okay, take me on the
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah. Oda, take the wheel.
Yeah, he's like, he has that wheel. And you're just like, I'm here for it. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. But you could argue that for the manga, it also sometimes stories, you feel like you're hitting that climax peak, and then you keep climbing and you
Yeah,
keep
and you're like,
climbing,
just
and then
keeps
sometimes
going.
you're like, oh, actually, we're going down this turn
Yeah.
for a bit, and you're like, what?
But what's going on over there? But I want to know
And then
more.
we take a squiggle and we come
yeah,
back.
yeah.
But
And then we get to not see characters for over 2 months.
that's classic. But yeah, I'm super excited. I'll definitely be checking it out again, similar to last year, I guess, where I'll catch up now
Yep.
and then I'll wait, and then we'll see how it is from a seasonal perspective. Never thought I'd be having to throw One Piece in my seasonals.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's currently watching. I'm curious how my anime list is gonna do that as well. 'Cause,
That's
like,
what I
does that
mean.
mean
Like,
like
right,
is
how
it
they
just
break it.
gonna end
Oh, you mean yeah? Do they just end
that part and then
the initial One Piece from Toy?
yeah?
I'll finally have it completed.
Oh man, I gotta catch up.
But that's definitely I would say that's the biggest news
Yeah.
from what we saw. But with with that came some of the Elbath promo art, the Straw Hat character designs. What'd you think? What'd
Pretty
you make
fun.
out?
I think it's fun. I think Jinbei looks the best.
We'll have Matt put some of the
Yeah, I'll
pictures up
toss
here
them
while
out
we're talking
here,
about.
rotate them. I mean, all of them look very like it's their
Well, it's like the
traditional
manga, right?
style. Like
Well, that's what I mean. But the colors are good.
everyone's got their color that they usually have connected with them somehow. Um, I love the good, like, yeah, like there's never no complaints in my opinion for most of these. Like,
Do you ever go to an island and you're just kind of like, oh, that is not what I was expecting for the fits?
definitely,
I think for me, Egghead is a big one.
Yeah.
I was like,
really thought they were gonna be a little bit more futuristic-y.
it is,
And
but
it is, but it isn't.
but it's silly. But then I mean,
Yeah,
the arc is
but yeah, just I love the giant belts, like the big animal,
yeah.
like belt style. I guess most of them are skulls, but they still look really cool. How about you? Do you have a favorite one?
Favorite one, I think Frankie looks pretty good, but that's also maybe he just looks very like Viking-esque.
Yeah.
Because he's already big shoulders, big arms.
Very fitting.
That's probably also why Jinbei
I think
really,
yeah, Jinbei does complete it well.
because Jinbei kind of reminds me of like How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, like the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very like fitting for.
So it's kind
the
of giving me
theme.
like Thor vibes a little bit with like the cloak and then like a weapon behind him, like he's ready for it.
Sanji almost looks more like medieval knight-esque to me.
Yeah, like a squire.
But I'm definitely super excited. I think Luffy also looks great. Honestly, Zoro might be one of the like not as good looking in this. But
Usopp
he also
doesn't-
looked great in Wano
Yeah, Usopp gives more jester vibes.
because
I
of the
think
beard and mustache.
The beard, the mustache, and just like the way his pants are, just
But
gives
that's
me
his fit.
more. That's his fit. I know, but I think it's the color design just gives me jester.
Yeah, he's just kind of like he wears the like overalls, but then they become more and more like where it's almost like he's just wearing pants that happen to have straps.
Yeah, it slowly just becomes a onesie. I feel like every island, there's just more and more going up.
But yeah, I mean, from the initial previews, I think they all look good. We also saw, I think it's volume 113 is coming out soon in Japan, I believe. And we saw just, some more reveals. Sometimes you don't see what character's hair color is
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I think there were some big reveals for that. But moving on, live action news.
Ooh, live action news.
So, I mean, first of all, are you excited for season 2?
I'm excited for
Or
season
are
2.
you like
I remember like when I was watching One Piece, I do remember enjoying this upcoming arc, like with like the introduction of Chopper and like Chopper's backstory and stuff.
Oh, I love Drum Island.
I am excited for it. I think there's going to be a lot of cool characters. There's going to be a lot of cool fights. I'm curious what they're going to do with Boone because there's like it is said that they're going to change things slightly.
Yeah, and that's the big thing.
But-
What characters maybe get axed or not in it
Yeah,
at
what
all.
characters get added if they try to mix a couple characters together
Well,
as
I
one.
mean, like we saw
it's-
with season 1, Garp is right there off the rip.
Yeah.
So are we going to still have a lot more Garp involved in the series early
That's true,
on?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited. I mean, this is a very cool part in the One Piece story, in my opinion, like for pre-time skip. With like, we got the first initial crew, and now we're slowly getting into like the second bit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I think Chopper looks cute.
I'm excited to see Smoker
Yeah. Smoker will be cool.
because I think we're covering like what Log Island and then the end of Drum Island. I think from
Yeah.
that point. So
Yeah. And Vivi will be fun. Because Vivi's in the trailer.
yeah,
So I am excited to see her. No Duck, unfortunately.
I assume they must be filming season 3 already, right?
I think they are. I think it's already in production. Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, don't want to have,
Yeah. That trailer finally came out today for the final season of that show. But yeah, I think what they're doing with One Piece and what they're doing with Percy Jackson of like, cool, season 2 is done.
It does seem like
It's
some
doing great.
showrunners are learning now.
Yes.
They're like, hey, if we get, I understand also like you want to see how, especially with One Piece, like that's
risky, but
big title. You don't want to just jump right into season 2, but I think
they're doing it well.
they did it well, and it was popular enough that they're like, okay, green light season 2 and 3,
Yeah.
get it going, and then based on how season 2 is, how it performs,
Then we can jump into season 4.
yeah, you can already green light
It's
another
smart. I think
season.
it's a great way to do it, to be honest. Because even like I think Percy Jackson's pretty well doing the same thing as well. Where
And they have to, because at least with the One Piece, they're all at least adults.
Yeah.
They're just going to look more and more ridiculous the older they get, especially with some of what the characters do. It's going to become more
Pretty
difficult
ridiculous. Yeah, and
as the
difficult.
older they get.
But with Percy Jackson, yeah,
they're actually kids.
young. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the new characters that come in for season 3. Like, they got to push that quick.
Yeah, and they already look.
Yeah.
Some of them look
They're
significantly
already
older.
aging fast. I mean, like, we talked about
Kids,
the season
am I
1.
right?
Kids, they grow up so fast. But I'm excited. I'm excited for One Piece season 2.
Yeah, and based on like the visuals we've seen, the sets are looking good.
Yep.
I don't know. I haven't done too much research into how many of the sets were created or what on if they did some on site for because obviously Drum Island is a lot more snowy.
Yeah.
Don't know if they went somewhere else for a cold area, if you will. But that was one thing I was pretty impressed with overall from season 1 was the look. It wasn't as grand as maybe some people wanted, but it didn't look as bad as I kind of thought either. It kind of worked. Obviously, you could nitpick, and if you're a true One Piece stan, maybe you're not in love with the show.
Yeah.
But I think it did a good job of introducing the series to people who just are never going to watch an anime. Like, there are people that just will never give anything a chance because it's an anime.
Yeah, but you throw it on Netflix, people are like, "Oh, I want to give that a try,"
Yeah, see what this is about. I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah, I've heard about One Piece before. Yeah, we'll watch it.
Speaking of which, I saw that One Piece the manga has apparently fallen into Book Talk's lap. And
Which is pretty wild.
there's a lot of Book Talk content creators, female and male, that don't often read like manga in general, that are now talking about One Piece. And they're much more articulate with their
Yeah.
because they read books, like
Yeah.
real books,
Yeah,
not just manga.
No picture
Not
books.
that mangas aren't books, they are.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you differently.
A book finished is book finished. Doesn't matter if it's a manga, a comic book, or a regular book.
It's paper.
It's paper. You collect it. Sometimes you read it on your phone like an ebook. It still counts, guys.
But that's very interesting, and I hope that continues because everyone should be able to read and enjoy One Piece, And the more people that are spreading the word of the Oda Gospel, the better.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Speaking of that, I mean, with One Piece, the anime taking a break, obviously the manga's still going. We're also getting more light novels of One Piece as well.
Yes.
We got 2 this year, which is One Piece Heroines, Volume 1 and Volume 2, which just follows random heroines in one-off stories.
There are a lot of heroines.
A lot of heroines. And then we also got recently a Trafalgar Law light novel as well. And in the past, we've gotten light novels for Ace.
Yep.
So there's a lot of it. But One Piece Heroines is getting an anime.
Yeah, looks to be getting the treatment similar to the One Piece fan letter.
Yes.
Or at least a similar style that they're going
I'll
for.
throw up the pictures here as well for the video so you guys can kind of see what Nami and Robin are looking like. But yeah, I think
I like the designs.
The designs look fun. They look good.
And I like that it's different. Like it's got its own look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to confuse it with main One Piece.
Exactly. You're not going to be like, oh, that's what she was wearing in Albaf or
well, even
Wano
if they did those fits,
thing.
just the art style alone is so significantly different.
It's softer. I think it's weird to say that, but for me, like the animation looks softer.
Well, Nami
but
looks so much taller.
Yeah.
She's all legs.
She's all legs. Yeah. Facts. But yeah. I'm excited. I read the first short story in volume 1. It was a Hancock story, so that was really fun. But it's just they just seem like one-off.
Well, it's just
stories.
added lore, added, well, I think the hardcore One Piece fans they're always wanting more content, more lore, any way they can get it. You look at the Oda and SBC or SBC, no, the Oda question and answer.
Mm-hmm.
That people make whole videos based on just what he says, whole theories sometimes based on just what his answer was from, and sometimes he's joking. It's hard to tell because it's written, but people love any lore they can get from a series. Somehow a series that is probably going to end up being, God knows, like 1,500 plus chapters. It just doesn't have enough lore for people still,
which is crazy. People just keep wanting
that
more
is
and more.
Actually bonkers.
And
Also, as of recording this, we're working towards, I think, the release of set 13 for the One Piece TCG
for in the East. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just pulling it up as you were saying it. Yeah. Yes, for One Piece TCG. Yeah.
The
Series
English release
13
for Series 13, which has, see, and okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, and you tell me how you feel about this. There's pros and cons, I think.
Okay.
So, set 13 has basically a lot of people from a very recent arc.
Yes.
Some would say literally
big spoilers.
The most recent arc besides the arc we're currently on.
Yeah.
Right? Which is we're currently on Elbaf, and we're getting characters that we only really have truly seen a lot more of them from Egghead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question to you is, how do you feel about the One Piece TCG doing all these releases for very current characters?
I think I'm similar to you when you say like there's pros and cons to it. The cons is that it ruins the experience of reading the manga for people that aren't quite caught up.
Because we have manga readers, but then we have people that are only just starting the manga.
Yeah.
Then you have anime only watchers who are obviously behind. I mean, not behind as much as maybe some other anime, because we just mentioned we're right up there.
Yeah.
But you have people who are maybe just getting into the anime because of some of this news. You have people that maybe are watching the live action and are like, hey, they have a card game. I like Magic, or I like Yu-Gi-Oh,
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, so let's try it.
I'm going to try this card game. And then you're like,
hold up, is this so-and-so? Like it ruins that way for sure. I think it might be a little bit different in the West just because obviously One Piece is even larger there.
You mean the East?
The
or
East.
The West?
Sorry, the East. I meant the East. Because of how obviously One Piece is even more bigger, larger there, and more popular and stuff like that. So I think it had less of an effect there. But then you can also make the argument is that there's spoilers everywhere. If you're on One Piece
talked about
Reddit
it
or
with when we finally got to Luffy's awakening.
Yes.
Right? That was one of the, I think we actually talked about it on the podcast, which was it kind of put everywhere too early?
That's the thing, right? It's
because reading
it,
it was epic.
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
There was no spoilers.
Yeah, you had no idea going into that
Sunday
coming. Morning. You had no idea.
Yeah, you start the manga chapter and then, boom, Gear 5.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, this is epic. Then to hype up the anime, people already knew what Luffy looked like. It wasn't like this whole awesome reveal. And especially after the episode, it was just everywhere.
Yeah, everyone knew what Gear 5 looked like. That's unfortunate, but it's hit and miss because you have to like put hype into effect of like how do we get people to make sure they're ready for this to make this. It's
also one of the downsides of a long-running series.
Long-running series as well. But when it comes to TCGs, there's another TCG called Lorcana, which is the Disney one. I will say I will give kudos to them for what they did with their most recent set, and they re-released a bunch of their old cards that were very popular and made that into a base set and then added new versions of those cards, new typings of those cards.
Of like those characters?
Of those characters, yeah. And of just like updated versions of those cards that people were already using, but were maybe slightly harder to find.
Yeah, One Piece does that though.
So I know One Piece does that, but I think a lot more TCGs should be doing that.
I mean, I can't speak for
it's-
Pokemon, or I'm assuming Magic must have it, but yeah, it's
It's not like a thing that's uncommon, but I think
but
like
reprint sets are definitely nothing new. Like Yu-Gi-Oh definitely does
yeah,
does sets like that. Same with One Piece. I forget what they're called. I think they're called. One just came out recently. Are they PR?
PRBs like
Maybe. But
the best or whatever.
yeah, there was one that actually the most recent set, but the issue with One Piece was they ended up introducing new cards
Yeah,
in the
Those
reprint
sets,
set,
yeah.
which is I feel like that's kind of greedy. Like a reprint set should be a way of people trying to get and bring the market down because these cards are so expensive.
that makes sense.
At least that's I mean I hope people agree with that, but that's kind of my
2 cents on it.
yeah, that's kind of like how I view how the series is how it gonna be should be done. I think they're PRB. I think that's what it's called in One Piece. I'm not entirely sure,
Yeah, I think those are the premium booster.
but they're like the best of
Yeah.
One Piece, and that's the goal. I assume is to bring down the market and make it easier for it's more accessible. Which because at the end of the day, these are card games.
Yeah,
You know, we can get into a whole debate about collecting and selling and
the
playing
terrible
and people
market
that,
behind all
well,
that.
and then people that play it as the actual card game. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it is a card game. They are meant to be played.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is nice to see those. I just didn't love the addition of new cards, especially in such a large set. I think the set had hundreds of cards, and then
Dang.
if you wanted those newer cards, like good luck,
Good luck.
because
Yeah.
there were more cards in the set than just a normal release
Mm.
one. Like OP13 has less cards in it, and they're all new.
It's not the way it should be.
But with that said, OP13, I mean, personally, I'm excited for a few cards, which unlikely to get, but they are spoilery. But for someone that is caught up on One Piece, I don't mind. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's what I mean. You don't want to just like it's tough with One Piece. Like
It's
you
a
said.
balancing act with fans and
Yeah, from all different mediums too, right? So with the manga, with the anime, like it's tough to but,
balance.
yeah.
And it once you release one spoilery card or set.
just keep going at that point.
Well, yeah, you've already done it, right? Like
Yeah,
there is no.
You've already shown that you can do it, so people are gonna.
Well,
be more,
there's no going back. Like you've already spoiled it for people that are potentially earlier in One
Yeah.
Piece. Because the thing for me is when I think of
Even-
something like Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah,
there is no true spoil. Like maybe there is spoilers for the anime, but like I think majority of people are playing the card game and not watching the anime.
yeah. You're either
know what I
one
mean?
or the other when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh.
And a lot of good sets in Yu-Gi-Oh aren't in the anime. And
Yeah.
even if they are, it's like a one episode
a
thing.
one-off thing. Yeah,
So
I think with One Piece TCG specifically, I think it was what like starter deck like 15 or something like that was Gear 5.
yeah, it was just Gear 5.
Like it was just like, oh, here you go, and you're like, oh, we're not even trying to hide it.
So obviously that's just the risk, or you're just kind of being like, well, this is for One Piece fans. You've had a lot of this series has been going on since
Yeah.
the 90s.
Good luck.
Like if you're not caught up, like sorry, but like
Yeah.
you've had time.
Yeah, I am curious what they'll do now that they've kind of caught up, mostly.
Well, yeah, I
Uh,
mean that's a good point. Where are they just gonna start doing LBAF cards?
Yeah, are they gonna
I
do
haven't actually. I think we
re-releases?
did see OP14 some
Yeah.
cards for Japan. And I don't remember. I don't recall exactly what this set is.
Even what
going
it's
to be.
called might even actually help us out too.
I
The
think it's,
Azura C7.
Yeah.
Releasing January. Yeah, we don't know too much about it.
but in OP13 we have the. I think there's like more going on than just stuff that happened on, because we have like a lot of Ice and Sabo stuff. I think is also in this set.
Mm-hmm.
But my most looking forward to thing is that Gege actually ended up doing some art for some of the cards, and he did the Gorosei
Which is gonna look. They look
in
dope.
in their devil fruit
Yeah.
forms. So they look very. You can almost tell like right away. You're like, okay, that's not That's not very Oda art style. He's kind of got that more darky, edgier look to them, which it's very cool. Those cards are probably going to be so stupid expensive.
But it'd be really cool to pull one.
Be cool to pull them. Be cool to own all of them. Yeah. But we'll see. Definitely, we take a gander at it,
Yeah, you know me. Put me in, coach. I'll buy some cards.
Put me in, coach. I'll buy some
I have an
cards.
addiction.
Well, you know what? You're aware.
I am self-aware of my terrible addiction to TCGs.
But Pokemon
but
also doesn't spoil. Because
Pokemon doesn't spoil because that's just all game-based. And
it's just the Pokemon.
it's just Pokemon, yeah. I mean, I don't do Pokemon TCG anymore, so
But I just mean in general, the
Yeah.
card game's not spoiling anything.
it's true.
For a long-running game series
Yeah.
/anime/manga. Just really is One Piece. I mean, you've dabbled in the arena one. What's that one called?
Oh, Union Arena, yeah. No, that's also not spoilery either.
Oh, no?
So even if you look at, it's all strictly from anime.
Right.
So it's not the manga ones.
You have to stay in your lane, though.
Yeah, so
Right,
you can't
so-
so when you're playing that game, like I can't mix a Jujutsu Kaisen and Kaiju number 8 together.
Right. But if
You
I'm
pick an anime,
they have Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
But does it spoil things? Well, I guess the series
it
is
does
done
not
at this
go.
point.
Well, I'll take Hunter x Hunter for example. So they did a set for Hunter x Hunter, and Volume 2 of Hunter x Hunter just came out. So Volume 1 of Hunter x Hunter only went up to just before Greed Island.
Okay.
So then Volume 2 of Hunter x Hunter cards that just came out covered Greed Island and then going into the next arc. So I think
Interesting.
it's also their way to like get 3 volumes out of it too. And they'll reprint some of those cards, like not a lot.
Well, I was
but,
going to
like,
say, I guess it's tough I mean, I'm sure they do okay for money, but because you want to balance the set releases. You can't,
Yeah.
obviously, One Piece is like, okay, how many releases are we going to do during the year? And it's all One Piece.
Yeah.
Obviously. But for Union Arena, it's like, okay, we did an Attack on Titan one.
They
Now
release
we need to do a Hunter x Hunter because we haven't done a Hunter x Hunter one in a while.
Yeah.
We need to
That's what
do a
so
Full Metal Alchemist.
this is the card game's been out for I think about a year and a half, and we've gotten volume 2s of 2 series so far, which is Jujutsu Kaisen, I believe, and Hunter x Hunter. Or no, yeah. And then next year we'll get a volume 2, I think, of One Punch Man and one other one I can't remember. But they're releasing sets, I think, every 6 weeks. So different animes per, obviously, but
I'm curious to either A, if they'll allow mixing at some point,
it would be really fun if
Or-
they do. But it's
and B, I just feels like you spread too thin. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
know there's a ton of shows. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that there aren't enough shows and there aren't fans who are going to be waiting, but it just feels like you start spreading too thin as a card game as a whole.
Yeah.
I guess you can just repeat ideas for, hey, this Killua card does this. Just use that exact card,
Yeah.
but for
Something else.
some
Yeah.
other character.
They do it too, where it's like color system too, where like One Piece, like you need a blue deck, like only blue cards, kind of thing like that.
Yep.
So they only have monotyping card decks for now.
For now.
So I could see them working on that.
They
as
also only
well,
had it for One
but
Piece.
That's what I mean.
That changed real
That
quick.
changed within like 5 sets, I think. No,
Even
I think it
earlier,
was. Yeah, I think it was like set 3.
Because I just remember like you had the first structure decks that were all just one monocolor.
Yeah,
And then I think in the next set of structure decks, it was
already double
mixing.
colored. Yeah, but no, I think Union Arena is fun. I think if you're a fan of anime or particular anime, it's one you can play, and it's cool because like you also like if I'm playing Demon Slayer, you can play any other one too. Like you
Oh.
can also play Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not both stuck to the same anime. So when I play with my buddy Justin, he's usually running a One Punch Man deck, and I'm using a Demon Slayer deck.
Okay, so you guys can face off against one another.
Yeah,
But
just like when you're
your
making
deck
a deck,
can only have
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, the new set for Kaiju number 8 comes out tomorrow of this recording, so I'll probably buy some packs
Oh yeah,
to
you're
kind of
definitely
see.
gonna do that. That's
Yeah.
a big Kaiju number 8 fan.
And again, with this one, because Kaiju number 8 season 2 like just ended, so I'm assuming this set will just be season 1.
Yeah, I mean that's
So-
probably a fair guess. Also, keep up to date because we might be covering a new TCG coming out.
Yeah, if we can get our hands on it,
Yeah, that'll be the question.
that'll be the question. That will depend on if we get the episode done.
in time.
So-
Well, we'll still do an app on it regardless. We'll take
Yeah.
a look at it, but don't wanna, you know-
Riftbound? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
Riftbound?
Something like
Yeah.
that. It's by Riot Games.
Yeah.
But physical game, not a video
Physical.
game.
Yeah, physical TCG. Hope it's
Yeah.
not slippery slope. Probably won't be. Not for me, anyways.
Card games are just impossible to purchase.
Yeah. without an arm and a leg and your firstborn child.
Or, you know, you pay off your local card store and you're like,
Yo, hit me up. Hit me up, dude.
you know,
You know, slide a little booster box off to the side there. And one
I
fell out
had
of the
that.
back of the truck.
yeah, that box didn't make, you know, that one didn't make it to the shelf for some reason.
It's crazy, man.
Oh, we have one left for you.
Yeah. Oh, what?
But yeah, obviously we went on a little bit of a
TCG tangent there.
we
It's
went
been
on
a while.
but it
But
started with One Piece.
It's started with One Piece, and it all goes back to the One Piece.
Yeah, let us know what you're most excited for. Are you excited for the live action, or are you kind of like, I'm not asking for it? I didn't
Yeah.
ever wanted it.
Yeah. It was
Or-
only okay. I don't really care.
You excited about One Piece being shifted to only basically two seasonal 13 episode shows?
I think
during
that
the
will
course of
give
the year?
people time enough to actually catch up, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, but what are people that are caught up?
That's the thing, you know. But pros and cons.
So let us know what you guys think. And also, there was no new news
No new
on
news.
the Wit remake.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything about that, but obviously keep that in the back of your mind because that's also coming. I don't know if that had any effect on what Toy's doing. I don't know if there's any impact going on, but
we'll see.
we'll see. When news of that does come out, you know where to catch it. It'll be right here on the Nerdy Misfit podcast.
And we'll see you next Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
No, we'll
'cause-
also see them on
and
Monday.
Monday on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see you on Monday on YouTube for Marvel Mondays, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of the Nerdy Misfit podcast.
All right, bye-bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.